Access to safe drinking water and sanitation services are basic human rights. They are indispensable to sustaining healthy livelihoods and maintaining people's dignity. In 2010, the United Nations General Assembly recognized access to safe drinking water and sanitation as a human right. These were two distinct human rights inferred from the right to an adequate standard of living as stipulated in Article 11 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, which is considered as binding on member states. Many states have solemnly committed themselves to ensuring access to safe drinking water and sanitation in Goal 6 of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So claim your right to sufficient, safe, acceptable, accessible and affordable water for yourself and others, as it is fundamental to human dignity. Water is also the primary medium through which climate change influences Earth's ecosystem, along with the livelihood and well-being of societies. Climate change is expected to make freshwater scarcity worse around the world because when greenhouse gases accumulate and the atmosphere warms, the hydrological cycle changes. With the rise of global temperatures comes the accelerated melting of sea ice and glaciers, which returns water that's been locked up for thousands of years back into the dynamic water cycle. Warmer temperatures lead to greater evaporation and an atmosphere that can hold more of that water as vapor, because water vapor is a potent greenhouse gas. Increased evaporation leads to increased warming, and increased warming leads to increased evaporation, creating a loop. Due to increased evaporation, there is even more moisture for stronger downpours during the rainy season. Heavier rainstorms lead to increased surface runoff. Runoff is a major source of water pollution because rainwater moves along the surface, picking up litter, chemicals, fertilizers and other toxic substances, flushing them into the water bodies. Water hazards can result from too much water, like floods and landslides, and too little water, like droughts and forest fires. 1 in 3 people still lack access to safe drinking water, and more than half of the world's population lack safely managed sanitation. This unacceptable situation causes a spur in transmitting deadly diseases such as cholera, typhoid, and diarrhea. Climate change has serious consequences, particularly for those living in vulnerable circumstances and otherwise marginalized. For women and girls especially, the reality of water scarcity or other climate-related disruptions to water supply often translates into ever-increasing numbers of hours seeking out safe water for themselves and their families.
देखिए फ़िलहाल तो अभी मैं टाइफाइड में ठीक हुआ हूँ। 3 साल में 2 बार मेरे को टाइफाइड हो चुका है और टाइफाइड में हाथ पैर दर्द बहुत, बुखार 100-102 रहता है हमेशा। उसमें हाथ पैर में दर्द रहता है, उठ के बैठने में दिक्कत होता है बहुत। और पानी का सिचुएशन, पानी यहाँ पे 2-3 घंटा आता है। गर्मी बहुत है, कभी कभी तो 50 डिग्री तक गर्मी पहुँच जाता है। अभी तो कोविड के टाइम में बहुत मुश्किल आता है। अभी पानी पिए ना, हाथ धोए ना, सफाई रखें। डॉक्टर ने बोला है साफ पानी पिए, टैप का पानी ना पिए है, तो उसमें हम क्या करें?
As with the COVID-19 situation in hand, one way to prevent the spread of the virus is to practice proper personal hygiene by washing our hands using soap and water. Washing hands frequently may be a simple routine for many, but it is a privilege and luxury for those who do not have adequate water and for those who face the decision of whether to drink the water they have or use it for washing their hands. Water security for all is the current need of the hour, but climate change continues to affect our water resources and elevate threats to public health. which only increases water insecurity with every passing year. These issues cannot be solved separately and need to be addressed in tandem with an effective government-led climate action. If we want a sustainable future, we need to stop triggering climate change in order to curb its impacts on water.